Many grieving families in Gauteng province have been left frustrated as they could not bury their loved ones due to the disruptions at the province's Forensic Pathology Services facilities. The Forensic Pathology Officers have demanded formal certification for their work, better working conditions as well as danger pay. To give us an update as to how things are looking this morning, I'm joined by Gauteng MEC, Dr Gwen Ramokgopa. Dr Ramokgopa, good morning to you and thank you so much for coming through. The first thing that comes to my mind when you talk about this issue is, did it really have to get this far?
Mepalsa, good morning, and also good morning to listeners. I must say that in my assessment, it did not have to get this far. And although I've said it before, that one thing that we realized is that there has been a communication breakdown. And some people think communication is a light thing. It's not. It actually builds team effort. It builds trust. So a lot of trust was lost as well. And that is why on the 9th of this month, I decided that let me go and speak to the pathology officers themselves, because we've been discussing their matters and we didn't seem to be getting a consensus on what is the issue and how can we work together to resolve it. I indeed found that they don't trust. Even they didn't trust what I was saying when I confirmed that we are reinstating the danger allowance for those who do not have danger allowance. And secondly, that we will also look at translating their OSD scale, remuneration scale, to the remuneration scale that will enable them not to reach a ceiling. And thirdly, that with immediate effect, we're reinstating the counseling and debriefing sessions. So those are, and also protective clothing. So once I've discussed with them, they said they wanted something in writing. So, but because I was just meeting a few, the following Monday, the HOD met with all the representatives from all the facilities, including Intwano, who have not been on the work to rule strike. And following that up, there was a circular that was sent to all of them. So the one thing that was outstanding was a special allowance for those that are doing dissection and evisceration, which is one of the critical areas.
But I believe MEC, you and I agree that the situation could have been avoided.
Yes.
Now, how was saying that they had informed the department of their grievances 4 months ago.
This matter has been with the National Department, and on last week Thursday there was a bargaining council item. This matter was a bargaining council item. It is clear from my assessment that the matter has been discussed for the past years, and that many of the workers themselves may not have been aware of the work that was done behind the scenes. So that's why I've also instructed the department to establish a joint team, a joint task team, so that workers are continuously involved and informed. In many instances, disasters come when there's no optimal discussions, consultations, and that's why we need to ensure that democracy and participatory democracy is part of the freedoms that we want to sustain.
Yeah, and I know that you visited some mortuaries last week. You just visited Diepkloof, but what have you found, MEC, upon your investigation? More so because some forensic pathology assistants were saying that they are forced to do work that is not related to their skills and profession. Is that true? Palisa,
what is very clear is that this work has not in the past been given the recognition that it's supposed to. Just to give an example, it's like the assistant to the first heart transplant. His work of assisting Chris Barnett was recognized posthumously. So this is a similar situation. When you do operations on patients, helping patients and saving lives, a doctor can't do it by themselves. They need assistance. And in the theater situation, the assistant is done by nurses. So in this case, the recognition of those officers who assist forensic pathologists who are doctors to serve justice and to investigate the cause of death in unnatural situation was not adequately
so you do agree that they were not
doing. I want to acknowledge that. And there is a process of a certificate that has been developed, a national higher certificate and also a national diploma. So there is a process of doing that. And that's why we are saying to pathologists that their concerns were legitimate. And indeed, there's a process that has quite matured in dealing with their problems.
What's the situation like, MEC? Because we were of the view that things would have been sorted out by yesterday with the intervention of the national minister.
I've been even to the Hillbrow, the Johannesburg mortuary. We've also looked at the working conditions that were there, and we have also begun to look at the issue of protective clothing, and we have sent a circular in the province to individual members that also confirms this over and above the general circular that has been sent. But for the outstanding recognition of those that do dissection and evisceration, I've had to ask the national minister because this matter was at a national level and it was to affect all provinces. I'm really encouraged that the minister did convene a special National Health Council yesterday, a telephonic conference, and the National Health Council, Special National Health Council has agreed to look at those that are qualifying and are doing dissection and evisceration.
We've run out of time, but now what happens? Is everything back to normal at pathology services across Gauteng?
I expect that everything should be back to normal, because the issues that the workers have raised have been addressed. The only outstanding issue is that the formalization should be at the bargaining council. And there shouldn't be a difficulty in that because all parties have agreed.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll leave it at that. But we do know that a whole lot of people were affected by the strike. MEC.
I send condolences to all the affected families and assure them that we'll continue doing everything in our best, including continuing the support of the South African military services to deal with the backlog.
All right. Thank you so much. There you have it. That's Gauteng Health MEC Dr. Gwen Ramokgopa talking to us about the 3-week strike that's currently taking place. I mean, with the MEC saying that he hopes everything goes back to normal from today. We will be monitoring the situation and reporting back to you as to how things look. Let's quickly take an ad break here on Morning Live.